Behind me are the consequences of a Russian aerial bomb strike on a residential area in Sloviansk. At the time of the attack, there was no one inside the destroyed house. Right now, all municipal services are on site, working to restore gas and electricity supplies, and the victims are recovering from the shock they experienced. Ludmila's house is only 3 meters away from the epicenter of the explosion. Today is her birthday. She spent all of yesterday preparing for a gathering with guests, but the Russian bomb changed all her plans.
You can't imagine how terrifying it was. Today is my 64th birthday. Yesterday I was preparing the table and everything. Then, around 10:30, my husband said, "Go lie down. You've been on your feet all day." I went to the back bedroom, lay down, turned on the TV, and then, boom! We have nothing here. There are no servicemen on our street. Nothing.
Anastasia shows us a room in her house where her colleague and her young child was staying at the time of the Russian shelling. They were pulled off the rubble with only minor shrapnel wounds.
That girl's mother had shrapnel wounds and had to be stitched up, and the child only had a scratch on their head. It was a deafening sound, a whistling noise, and then nothing. I opened my eyes. Somehow my phone was still working, and I turned on the flashlight because we couldn't see anything. It was pure darkness, just dust.
As a result of the Russian strike in Sloviansk, 7 people were injured, including 2 children. 3 houses were destroyed and more than 20 others were damaged. A few hours after the attack on Sloviansk, Russian troops struck nearby Kramatorsk. 3 people were injured in the city, including an 8-year-old child.
Were people living here? Yes, people lived here and people still live here. Are there still a lot of people around? Yes.
This residential area is densely populated. They were lucky that the bomb fell into a garden. Private homes were damaged by a shock wave.
I felt I was in a haze. Something fell down on me, but it was a frame and its elements, and I didn't immediately understand what had happened. Once I managed to get out, there was no light. When I stepped outside, I saw what had happened.
During the night of March 7th, Russian occupation forces launched nearly 20 attacks on settlements in Donetsk region. Among them were Konstantinivka, Mirnohrad and Seversk. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Alena Hramova, Evgeny Karmazin, Alexander Kolichev from Donetsk region, UATV News.
3 years without centralized water supply, nearly 6 months without electricity and gas, constant interruptions in mobile service, and relentless Russian shelling. Russian forces continue to turn Pokrovsk into ruins.
Was that supermarket? Yes, supermarket. When did it hit? Well, 3 or 4 days ago.
Volunteers from a neighboring region are documenting the new destruction on their mobile phones. They come here several times a week to help people.
Get ready. Yes, I'm dressing. Let's go. I'll wait for you. Hurry up.
Alexei packed only the most essential things for the journey. He says he doesn't care where he goes, as long as it's away from the constantly shelled Pokrovsk.
They destroyed the supermarket, a big goods store, with missiles. Private houses are also being bombed. Should I just wait until something else falls?
Volunteers admit that now there are far more people wanting to leave Pokrovsk district than before. People are afraid of drones, as Russian occupiers frequently use them against civilians.
Drones fly all day long. In the morning, you can see all these little things hanging on the trees from the drones.
Strike drones have become a major problem for entering some villages near Pokrovsk. These 3 elderly women were walking from the village of Zverova, less than a kilometer from the front line. Servicemen helped them get to the city. Throughout their journey to Pokrovsk, they were protected by a Ukrainian drone.
Our guys protected us. Not a foreign drone, our own, was guarding us.
Once they boarded the minibus with the volunteers, the women couldn't believe they had survived. Throughout February, Nina lived in a cold house. The Russians hit her home multiple times when they saw smoke coming from the stovepipe.
In February, the water froze. I just sat there, chipping ice and sucking on it. I didn't eat anything, just like that. I survived.
Despite the heavy shelling of the city and its district, many still remain for various reasons. Often it's to take care of elderly family members and animals that they don't want to abandon.
3, 4, 5, 6, 17.
Every day, Valentina feeds 20 pets. She says their numbers are growing daily. She has no plans to leave yet.
I'm not a waiting person. I just love my Ukraine and my homeland. That's who I am. And you understand, I can't just leave everything behind. My whole life has passed here.
Despite the fact that Pokrovsk residents rarely go outside and often sleep in shelters, 11 civilians were killed in the city in February. Currently, according to the Regional Military Administration, nearly 6,000 people remain in Pokrovsk. Reported by Alyona Hramova, Yevgeny Karmazin, UATV News.